Do you want a mob farm that is easy to set up, doesn't require many resources, and works perfectly at giving you what you want? Then you're in the right place. This farm is just what you need, just like our sponsor, Shockbyte. Shockbyte is an affordable server hosting service that you can use to make servers for you and your friends. Prices start from $2.50 in the US or £2.05 in Europe. And using the code SaminUP at checkout will get you 25% off your first month, while also supporting me. I use them for my own server, HavenMC, and I can give it the SaminUP seal of approval. They're really fantastic. So use the link in the description and go and get your own Shockbyte server today. So everything that you need to build this farm is on the screen right now. Wow, my God, so many things. But the first thing you need to do is find yourself a nice, deep, cold ocean biome like the one I'm in right now. Make sure there's no land around you, and that means that this farm will work the best in this area just because the mobs are only going to be spawning in the areas that you build today. So the first thing you want to do after locating your deep cold ocean is get yourself some chests. So you want to build up 3 from a block on top of the water and then 3 to the side of them to make double chests, and then you can build up with 3 hoppers pointing into those chests, an extra one on the top, and then you want to build a 5x5 platform. So you want to come out from that center block with hoppers all facing in, and then you want to just build some extra hoppers going into the different sides, and that will give you your 5x5 platform. You then want to get your building blocks, and you want to come up 30 blocks into the air. So you want to go 1. Once you've built your 30 block pillar up into the air, you then want to come out 2 blocks to one side, and you want to build a sort of ring around that central column that is 1 block away from the middle. As you can see, it's sort of like 2 blocks away from the middle. The rings on the second block, you know what I mean. And then you can fill in the rest of this because it will help with the next step, that is placing in some fence gates. Once you've placed them in, you can then open them. You can place them in whatever direction you want. I've just done it this way because it looks a little bit nicer. Once you've opened all of them, you can then come below and break all of the blocks below the fence posts. And then what you want to do is you want to build out 10 blocks from this block here. So you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you want to do that on all 4 sides. And then once you've done that on all 4 sides, you then want to build out 2 more blocks on each side and fill them in. So you have this sort of walkway, pathway sort of thing going on all 4 sides. And then once you've done that, you then want to fill in the rest with a diagonal. As you can see, it should meet up nicely like that. And then you can come back and fill in the insides, and then do this for all 4 sides as well. And then once you have done that, you then want to come to the edge and build up 2 blocks with your normal full blocks. You can use any block for this, by the way. You don't just have to use smooth stone. And then you want to place a slab on the top. So you want to go 2 blocks and then a slab and build this all the way around the perimeter. And then once you've built your wall all the way around, you then want to grab your blocks again and then come out 2 blocks from the edge, just like how I'm doing it right now. Great job. And then once you've done that, you can then come on top like this and then just place water all around all of the corners and let it funnel down into the middle. If you can't tell, basically mobs are going to spawn on platforms, get pushed off, and then they'll fall in here and get pushed down into this bit here, and then they'll fall to their death, and all their drops will go into the hoppers, and you will become very, very rich. This next step then requires your dispensers and observers. So what you want to do is grab your smooth stone block and carry on this pillar until the top block is 1 block above the fences. As you can see, it's 1 block above, and then grab your dispenser and place it facing upwards on top of that block. You can kind of see how it looks here. And then you want to grab your slabs and build out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on each side. Make sure that's on the top half of the dispenser. So you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you want to make sure that you do this on all 4 sides. And then, like with the other bits, you then want to fill it in. So then you can just fill in your corners like so. And once you've built that platform, you then want to build up 2 more blocks from your dispenser and place another dispenser on top of that. You then break the 2 blocks below it and place your observer facing downwards, like so. And then you want to repeat this sort of layer here, so grab your slabs again, come to the top half of the dispenser and build out 7 blocks on all 4 sides and then connect them up with diagonals again. And there you go, now you have those 2 layers done. What you want to do now is just copy this layer that you've built here as many times as you want. I'd recommend building about 8 layers or above that. So in a perfect world, I'd say build 12 layers if you can, these being 2 layers, and then build 10 more. So I'm going to do that right now. You build as many as you want, but I'd recommend building more than 8 layers. So I have now built 12 layers of the farm. So the way to finish this farm off is go to start another layer how you've been doing it before, but instead of building your slabs on the top half of the dispenser, you want to build them on the bottom half, like so. You can also put your observer down on the bottom, make sure that the observer's facing down like on all of the other levels, and then grab your brick slabs, and you want to build out 21 blocks on all 4 sides from this central point. So you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You want to do that for all 4 sides and then join them up with diagonals like on all the other levels, but just a bit bigger. So I'm going to do that now quickly and speed it up and show you guys. Very nice, and now all we have to do is make sure to fill it in with blocks, and this is going to completely shroud all of the levels below it in darkness. Doing this will then allow mobs to spawn no matter what time of day it is, and then we'll only have one last thing to do. Great work finishing the top layer. As you can see, all the layers down here are shrouded in darkness and mobs are beginning to spawn. These ones here are lit up. That's just because of the shaders I'm using and how the sun sort of travels from an angle rather than being right on top, but they are actually in darkness. And as you can see, some of the mobs are starting to spawn, and how cool is that? So the second to last thing you want to do is come to the top dispenser here, and then you want to grab your slabs and build out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from one end, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the other end, and then connect them all up like so. You can then place a block at the end like this with a lever on the back and a comparator on the other side. So as you can see, when you flick the lever, the comparator turns on, and when you turn it off, it turns off. And what you want to do now is right click the comparator to put it into subtract mode, and then once it's in subtract mode, you then want to build repeaters all the way to the end, and then bring it around with some dust, and then carry on building repeaters all the way back until the end, where you can place another piece of redstone dust connecting it up, and then set all of the repeaters to be on 4 ticks. Once you've done that, you've made a really long clock, and as you can see, when you flick the lever, the clock will turn on. You can hear the click from all of the observers activating, and then this will come back around, and then once it reaches the end, as you can see, it turns off the comparator, turning off the repeaters, and basically this will just circle around and around. And you also have a toggleable farm. You can turn this off, or you can turn it on if you want it to be working, or if you want to turn it off for a little while. So the last thing you now need to do is go to each level and place in a water bucket into each of the dispensers. Of course, you'll need as many water buckets as you have levels in your farm. It might be an idea to place the water buckets in beforehand, just because mobs will be spawning in here and you don't really want to be killed by them when trying to do this, especially when there's creepers. You don't want them blowing up your farm, so try and do this beforehand. Once you finish putting water buckets in each of the dispensers, you can then come back down to the middle and break this central tube all the way down to the hoppers at the bottom. This will then mean that your farm is ready to go, and when you're ready yourself, go back to the top and you can hit the lever, and all of these mobs that have been spawning will then get knocked down to the ground. Let's set this thing off and have a look and see what happens. Oh yeah, look at this. Look how many mobs are falling down here. We're about to see them all come out at the bottom any second. Oh, there we go. And they're all falling and dying just how we wanted them to be. They're landing on the hoppers and they are all being annihilated. Because we have that clock, they'll spawn in waves. So that was the first wave. All of their drops will then be going into the middle there. We can see the last few. Oh, there we go. There's another wave. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Oh, wow. I wasn't ready for that. As you can see, all the drops are coming in. Each wave has brought in so many drops. And you can just keep this going in the background for as long as you want. If you want to, you can AFK from a platform down at the bottom. But what I'd recommend doing if you do want to be AFKing at this farm is build up 24 blocks, or at least 24 blocks from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm actually going to go up 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you can get some glass and you can build yourselves a little AFK platform which you can stand on and just sort of let it do its magic down at the bottom. I'm building this top layer because then you don't have to worry about phantom spawning if you're here overnight. Of course, you can make that platform a little bit nicer for yourself. Build it however you want, as long as it's a minimum of 24 blocks away. You can stay on this and the farm will work its wonders and you'll collect loads and loads of drops. Of course, you can expand the storage system if you want, and you can check out my storage system video in the iCards if you want to know how to do that. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this farm helped you out, and I hope it enables you to do some amazing things in Minecraft. Don't forget, if you are looking for a server for you and your friends, make sure to check out the ShopBite link down in the description, and make sure to use code SaminUP at checkout for 25% off your first month. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!